Tonight on DC News Now, monumental cost, how much leaders may need to spend to make sure people can get to and from the newly proposed arena in Alexandria. Plus, gatekeeping theft, the new technology a major grocery store is using to stop potential shoplifters.
It's going to be feeling more like springtime over the next few days. We'll let you know if we're still expecting to hit the 60s by Friday and Saturday.
And making history.
Hey, Coach, I started this game. I'm going to finish this game.
Honoring Black History Month with a man who became the first African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Setting your kids up for financial success, stretching your dollar with the savings account picks this month.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. Tonight we're getting a better idea of just how much the monumental move could cost, as plans to bring the Washington Wizards and the Capitals to a new arena in Alexandria's Potomac Yard neighborhood are being considered. Well, new reports show the area's transportation infrastructure would need major improvements to keep up with the potential demand. And our Randy Bass is joining us live with the possible travel impacts of the multi-billion-dollar deal that some want leaders to factor. Randy.
Yeah, right now, this practically brand new Potomac Yard Metro station sees hardly any traffic at all, but that could very well change if plans go through to put a brand new arena right next door. New reports project rider delays between 60 and 90 minutes after major events here. It's all laid out in a new report from engineering and design consultants Kimley Horn. The solution, they say, tens of millions of dollars in upgrades here. The firm says the station needs more escalators and fare gates, along with more north and southbound trains running to increase capacity during game time. It also will cost a pretty penny, between $40 and $70 million for infrastructure upgrades and between $2 and $8 million a year to run more trains. The station is less than a year old and cost $370 million to build before it opened last May. Some people we talked to today say leaders should find the money and make it happen, while others say it seems like a waste.
I'd hate to see anybody spending more money for a sports arena than they should have to. Unfortunately, there's only one exit from the platforms, and that's not going to accommodate a crowd anyway. I just shake my head that anybody thinks that right after they've just built this place, that they have to change the entire layout.
And even if those big improvements are made, it may only make a small difference in terms of commuter and rider delays, saying that those delays could shorten to about 30 to 45 minutes if those improvements are put into place. The other big question that remains tonight is who pays for it all if these improvements get underway. Mark?
That's a good question, Randy. Another question I have for you. What about the impacts on drivers in the area? What are you learning about that?
Yeah, right now, based on current plans for construction and what's already here in Alexandria, sounds like there will be plenty of parking spaces for people trying to get to and from events here at the proposed arena. That's not of top concern right now. What is of major concern right now is the potential impacts on roadways around the Alexandria region, with traffic during rush hour coinciding with the start times of events during the week, which could lead to massive major traffic and travel impacts. They say, though, that those could be alleviated again with tens of millions of dollars in roadway improvements. Live in Alexandria, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, Randy, thank you. Developing now in Virginia. Please tell them DC News Now that one person was shot in Woodbridge, has non-life-threatening injuries, and Prince William County Police remain on scene in the area of Benita Fitzgerald Drive and Brickwood Drive. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. All right, taking a live look at the Washington Monument on a sunny Wednesday early evening. Meteorologist Damon Matson joins us now. And again, Damon, I don't need to, I know you can count, but we're talking about 3 in a row, my friend.
3, yeah, that's right. 3. There we go. We did this at noon as well. Oh, yeah. The number is up to 3 at this point. We are perfect this week in terms of having sunny days in a row. And then if you go back even into this past weekend, that streak extends even farther. And the sunshine had its impact today, no question, with lighter winds, little to no wind, as a matter of fact, in place. We managed to see 50s once again across a large majority of the DMV, with portions of Virginia primarily back toward Luray and Woodstock, reaching the middle 50s. A sign of the warming trend that is really going to take hold, if you will, as we go through the rest of the week and we continue to bump these temperatures up. Now, we still have some lower 50s through Frederick, Leesburg, all the way down to Culpeper as well, but we are noticing those 40s popping back up more so here as that sun begins to set. DC just dropped back down to 49 degrees. So naturally it will cool off here as we do keep some clear sky around as we head into the night tonight, but there is more cloud cover now looming on the horizon as we do start to see a change in the weather pattern. It's not just going to be those warmer temperatures, but clouds start to become more common as well. And that slowly begins tonight. We will keep a mostly clear sky at least through the 8 o'clock hour, but by the time we hit the middle of your Wednesday nights, we'll be leaning more toward a partly cloudy sky. No major changes, but something to note as we go toward the end of the week. Could we be dealing with overcast skies by the time we get into the start of the weekend? And how much more are those temperatures going to continue to rise? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. In Virginia, Fairfax County, police are looking for additional victims after they say a man posed as a possible rideshare driver after allegedly sexually assaulting a woman. Police say on January 1st, 39-year-old Mohanad Youssef Ubarura offered a woman a ride home. They say that he picked her up in DuPont Circle, drove her to a park in Lorton, Virginia in the blue Volkswagen Jetta, and allegedly sexually assaulted her. Ubarura is being held without bond. Police are asking anyone who may have been a victim or anyone who may have information to give them a call. And new tonight, many stores around the DMV have increased security to reduce shoplifting, including grocery stores. DC News Now's Dave Laval shows us how one grocery store is trying something new to stop shoplifters in the district.
Many people will throw away a receipt after they make a purchase, but here at this Safeway in Adams Morgan, you better have that receipt if you want to leave.
There you go, and the barcode's right there.
A quick swipe of your receipt is what it takes to leave the self-checkout lanes at this Safeway in Northwest. New security, according to employees, has been in place since the weekend.
I think they're just doing a quick fix that's not really going to be helpful.
Lakia Smith says she shops at this store about once a day. She's skeptical regarding the effectiveness of the new security.
I understand why they're trying to do it, but it's foolishness. It's like people going to steal if they're going to steal.
The Adams Morgan location is the latest Safeway to increase security. The Southwest Waterfront location has required shoppers to scan their receipts for at least a month, employees told DC News Now. Besides these gates, others block checkout lanes when they're not used, along with guards to catch shoplifters.
I think it's real crazy.
Martin Porter is not a fan of the new security.
They look at you like you're stealing or something like that.
However, Porter understands why the new gates have been put in place.
I guess they doing what they gotta do to keep people stealing.
Safeway did not respond to our request to comment. Employees told us the new security procedures may seem drastic, but it's either them or possibly close stores like this one to reduce shoplifting. In Adams Morgan, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Dave Laval, thank you. DC police say that one of their officers was bitten by a dog during a service call this morning. It happened just before 11 on Foot Street in Northeast. An officer found a man with bite injuries, and police say that officer then also bitten and fired their gun. It's not known if the dog was shot, and the dog has not been located. Well, developing now in the district, 3 people are in the hospital this evening after a house fire in Northeast. DC Fire and EMS say the fire started in the basement. They say that smoke alarms alerted residents in the 2-story home on the 5500 block of Chillum Place. Still, the investigation as to what caused the fire is still ongoing. All right, with the big game just days away, we're highlighting a quarterback who not only broke records in the big game back in 1988, but he also made history. Washington's Doug Williams, who started the season as a backup, took his team to the big game and became the first African-American quarterback to both play in the nation's most celebrated sporting event and win it. Leonard and Fleming and myself talked to Williams at the team's facilities in Ashburn, Virginia, and Leonard joins us here in studio with more. Hey, Leonard.
It was a game certainly that I remember watching on television. Williams came in as the big underdog, but he proved not only could he handle the quarterback role that had been elusive for many black men before him, but he thrived and made special history.
So I understood what the impact was to black America. There's no doubt in my mind.
Doug Williams made history on January 31st, 1988 in San Diego when he became the first black quarterback to start and win a Super Bowl, a game on the world stage against the favored Denver Broncos.
The impact of the black Americans and even some white folks in America, you know, they was pulling for me too.
And it wasn't his first time making history. He was also the first black quarterback chosen in the first round of the NFL draft by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 1978.
I never thought any other quarterback from a mental standpoint, from a physical standpoint, was better than me.
And he proved it, taking the Bucs to the NFC Championship game in 1979. But a contract dispute caused him to sit out the 1983 season. And then in 1986, Washington, under legendary coach Joe Gibbs, who was Williams' offensive coordinator in Tampa, came calling. And in 1987, he was named the starter for the playoffs that led to the Super Bowl. He says the day before the big game, he felt tremendous pain.
You know, I woke up with a toothache.
He had to undergo a 4.5-hour root canal. He didn't want to miss his lucky bag of Hershey Kisses.
Now, I stayed up most of the night, and I found a way.
And in the second quarter of the game, Williams exploded. Boom, 1 touchdown. Boom, 2 touchdowns. Boom, 3 touchdowns. Williams was named Super Bowl MVP and the first black quarterback to hold that trophy. And to this day, people still vividly remember number 17's actions that day.
It's kind of like to them, Barack Obama getting elected president, Jackie Robinson playing baseball.
Williams says he mentors black quarterbacks and his phone is always open to them. And that includes Kansas City Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who is playing in Sunday's game. And black quarterbacks in the league are ones he roots for because, like him, they are often the underdog. Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now.
All right, Leonard, have a seat here if you want, because I want to talk to you. You were nice enough, you were kind enough to invite me to go to the interview with you, and I had a blast. But wasn't it special? You and I, close to the same age. I got you by several years, but we're in the same neighborhood. But wasn't it just special to sit down and just hear him talk about some of his struggles that he went through? And we're talking about in the late 1970s, which wasn't that long ago before he joined Washington.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at his career as being the first African-American chosen in the draft. Think about that in 1978 as quarterback, and then to be in that Super Bowl, that historic Super Bowl where, you know, the Broncos were favored. A lot of people were cheering for John Elway, and here he just bucked all the trends, proved everyone wrong, and won the big game. It was quite an amazing performance. I remember it vividly.
All right, Leonard, thank you. And again, thank you for allowing me to tag along. And still ahead on the news at 5.